Thank you so much for the invitation. It's an honor to be in this lineup, this stellar lineup. So, okay, let's talk about discovery misconceptions. This is a topic that I've been focusing considerably lately because it's a very important topic. And I will explain why in this very first slide. We have normally the product people and the business people. And normally the product person says that she needs to do a discovery to better understand the problems of our customer. So she's able to build together with the team the best solution possible. And then comes the business person and say, oh, but I know exactly our customer needs. It's very, very common situation that we have. And the purpose here is to talk about why we got into this situation and what are the misconceptions, the misunderstandings that we have around the discovery. And I'm going to talk about 4 misconceptions. But first, let me do a quick review of the origins of the term product discovery. This was created by Marty Kagan, who will talk briefly with all of us. But he said that normally when we are building software, we have 2 problems to solve. One of them is figuring out the right product that we need to build, and then actually building the product the right way. So since 2007, he has been referring to these 2 parts or 2 perspectives as the product discovery and the product delivery. And the misconceptions that I'm going to talk about are 4. The first one is that discovery. We think that discovery is a process, but in reality, it is not. It is not a process. It's actually a set of tools that we use to mitigate risk. We need to think about discovery as this set of tools that we have in order to mitigate risks. And when I talk about risks, what type of risks I'm talking about here? Basically, the risk of failure, because we are investing a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources to build a product. And imagine if we build a product that don't achieve the results that we are going after. In Brazil, an 8 people team costs around 460,000 US dollars. In Europe is a bit more, 700,000. And in the US is almost 1 million per year. So imagine spending that amount of money and not building the product right. This is huge, right? And on the other side, we already know that most of the ideas, or even the most spectacular ones, they fail to achieve the results that we are going after, the metrics that we want to move, the needle that we want to move. And this is very, very well known. And when you talk about the risks, we are talking about the very famous 4 types of risks. So are customers interested in the product? So this is the very well-known value risk. Viability, is this viable from the business perspective? Will we generate the revenue, the margins that we want? Do we have a proper go-to-market strategy? We have suppliers, we have all the legal aspects taken care of. On the feasibility, this is closer to the engineering side. Are we able to build it? Have we run some tests to assure that we can build it? And on the usability side, will customers be able to understand how to use it and actually use it? So I will bring examples. The people that know me knows that I like to give a lot of examples to illustrate things. So the first one is about Gympass Wellness. I worked at Gympass as their CPO, and Gympass, as the majority of you probably know, is a marketplace, and it's a corporate benefit that we offer to companies. So companies could offer this benefit to their employees to access a network of gyms and studios that we had. At the time, we had around 50,000 gyms and studios in 14 countries. And we were always thinking about expanding beyond gyms. What else can we offer? Like a personal trainer, virtual reality activities, massage, Scooters back then in 2018 was very common here in Sao Paulo. I'm talking from Sao Paulo. The second circle here is an e-commerce of sports goods, what actually made a lot of sense for us. And the first one, the first circle here, is a marketplace of apps. So workout apps, but not only workout apps, but also meditation app, nutrition, mental health. And then we decided to take this one and actually build it. So this idea was really compelling to us. And we realized there were two main risks. First one, will we be able to find apps that could be interested in joining our marketplace? So this was the first risk. And the second one, are users willing to subscribe? So to test the first one, to mitigate this risk, we just built a presentation showing our purpose, showing our global presence, our 2,000 customers, the images that you just saw, and present this to 8 apps. From those 8 apps, 6 decided got interested, and from those 6, 4 decided to join us. So, okay, this first risk we solved, and the second risks are users interested to join. From those 2,000 corporate clients that we had back then, we selected 10, 5 in Brazil, 5 in the US, 15,000 employees, and we send them an email marketing, an email campaign telling them about this new product that we were launching. So we send the email telling them, oh, this new product, it will cost $8 per month. Click here to know more. Then we directed the users to a landing page explaining a little bit more about the product. And the apps, Now You for workout, 8 Feet from Germany, workout and nutrition, Zen from Brazil for meditation. And then a very simple form. What's your name and corporate mail and your company, and just subscribe, and then the pay information, the credit card information, because we are testing the willingness to subscribe. So very simple way to test. As soon as the person fill it out, we gave them links to activate their accounts into each of the partners. So no actual product was built. We just built a form, a very simple form. It's the fastest way that we figure out to test this risk. And the second one is a client of mine, is a fintech credit card company here in Brazil, and they were willing to launch a digital bank. They had already like a few 100,000 customers, and back then in 2020, 2021, there were many digital banks and many offerings of banking as a service. So they thought, oh, maybe we should offer also a digital bank, a full digital bank account to our customers. So we have a few 100,000 customers. Why not? It does make sense, right? Okay, so what is the risk here? Is this offer economically viable? Can we build it in the way that it generates revenue and margins to us and profit to us? So the discovery tool here is a spreadsheet. Is that simple? They built a business plan, and this business plan showed them that launching this digital bank to hundreds of customers could not be profitable at all, no matter the banking as a service provider that they choose. Only with a few million customers, this would be profitable. So this is a very simple way to assess the business viability risk. This is a discovery. They discovered that this product wasn't worth building. And they figure out that the best offer that they could do is not the full digital bank account, but only one functionality, the payments functionality, because they could connect with the credit card. So discovery is not a process, but is also a mindset. We need to have this in mind. It's a mindset that we need to have constantly. When we think about continuous discovery, Teresa Torres talks about this a lot. And by the way, I research, she's not my relative, but anyway, this is very important, the concept of continuous discovery. And when we think about having this mindset, being constantly thinking about thinks with this discovery mindset, we may be able to find very interesting opportunities. So I'll give you two very interesting examples. The first one is a restaurant called Osteria Franciscana. It's a somewhat famous restaurant. It has 3 stars Michelin. Michelin is a guide that grants these stars to qualify the restaurants. And the 3 stars is the top one. There is only 140, 150 restaurants with 3 stars. And there was this sous chef called Takahiko Kondo, and he was preparing desserts, lime tart dessert. He was preparing 2, and he had only ingredients for 2. And there's an accident during the preparation, and one of them fell out to the ground, and he was desperate. He was, oh, what are they going to do? This is awful. This is terrible. This is a huge mistake. And then came the chef, a bit more experienced, Massimo Bottura, and said to him, oh, look how beautiful this is. And said, maybe we can create a new dessert. And they created this dessert called Oops, I Dropped the Lemon Tart. And this became the most famous dish of this restaurant. So the way we look into things, we will be able to discover new opportunities or new way to deliver interesting things. And okay, this is from the culinary world, but I will bring one from technology. Etsy, it's this crafts marketplace in the US. And what happened there is a very interesting story also. A new engineer just entered the company, and he was working on something to be deployed. And when he was preparing the package to push into production, he realized, oh, there is this file that I'm not using. So I will delete it. It doesn't make any sense at all, so I will delete it. And then he pushed the code into production. And then in a few minutes, the entire Etsy website went offline, complete despair, right? And so what happened to this engineer? Maybe he got fired, or maybe they created a policy to prohibit people to make deploys, or at least new engineers. And so this is not what they decided to do. What they decided to do was to give him a prize. That's right, to give him a prize. And why? Because this mistake, even though it caused some pain, it helped the team to realize that the system was very fragile and they needed to fix it. So this is what they call the blameless culture. And this person received a prize called the 3-armed sweater that they started to give to engineers who committed the most spectacular mistake. But again, looking into mistakes is a way to understand the opportunities. This guy here called James Joyce is an Irish writer. He wrote a very famous book called Ulysses. And he used to say that mistakes are portals of discovery. So it's a mindset. We need to constantly be with this discovery mindset to discover new things, discover new opportunities to deliver value to our customers the same way as we deliver the results to our company. So discovery are tools and mindsets. It's not a process. So this is the first misconception. The second one, we need to do discovery for everything. And actually, no, we don't need. This is very important that we understand. And why is that? So as I mentioned, discovery is not a process. It's a set of tools that we use to test, to evaluate risk. And if we are in a situation where we don't have any of those risks that we just mentioned, or the cost to mitigate the risk, to test the risk, either financial, time, resources, is bigger than actually building the product, it doesn't make sense to do the discovery, right? So to help tangibilize this, I will give 3 examples. If we are building something very well known, like an e-commerce shopping cart, this is we have the standard from Amazon. And whoa, you can say, but my audience is completely different, so I need to do a discovery from scratch. And I would reply to you, no, you don't. You can build the standard from Amazon because everybody knows how to shop at Amazon, and then you can do discovery on top of that, because then you're going to be delivering already some value to your users at the same time to the company, and then you have a better basis to start out your discovery. Regulatory issues, what happened here? If you have a regulated industry, for instance, this example here is the virtual BPX at local web. Then this product, when we launched it, it was regulated by Anatel, the National Telecommunications Agency here in Brazil. And there are set rules that we needed to follow. There was no discovery to be done. We needed to implement some reports. We needed to implement emergency calling. So there's no discovery to be done. And the other is urgent features, like, for instance, the Etsy website went down, and they needed to bring this up as quickly as possible. Then we can work on discovering the reasons and fixing, but to implement, to bring this, we need to do it as fast as possible. The example here is Gympass Wellness that I just showed you. We launched it back in February 2020, and it was in the very beginning of the pandemic. And this became our retention tool, because our customers were calling us and say, hey, Gympass, my employees are locked down at their homes and gyms are closed. I believe I don't need you anymore, right? And we say, no, we are just launching a new product, and this new product is perfectly for this situation, because your employee can be fit at home and could also make meditation sessions. So very critical solution. And then we were able to retain some customers back then. It was very crucial for us. And we didn't do a lot of discovery, because we needed to solve this. I used to say that this was the moment of biggest blitzscaling in my career, because we went from 4 apps to like 90 apps in 2 months, because we needed apps in each and every country that we were in very different categories. And we went from 0 to like 500,000 users in 4 months. So it was very, very interesting. The third one is that we think that discovery is about understanding the problem. And this is right. We do need to understand the problem. We have this discovery as more on the product management and the product design side. And we have the delivery more on the engineering side, even though product management and product design, they work here. But this is seeing the problem discovery. But there is another aspect of the discovery that many teams, they overlook, they pass through, and they don't go through, which is the solution discovery. Solution discovery is that moment that, given a problem, we're gonna have some solution hypothesis, and we're gonna test those solution hypotheses to pick the one that fits best with the circumstances that we have. I normally say that not making this is the cause of the majority of product failures that we have. The reason why many product fails is that we do the discovery, we understand a lot of the problem, and then we devise one solution, and then we go directly into delivery. And the chances that this first solution that we devise is not the best one is huge. So we need this solution discovery phase in order to come up with other solutions, and then bring the quickest to implement, the fastest, the most interesting one to implement into delivery. And I will say more, back to what Rupa was saying about magic, I will talk about magic as well. The solution discovery is, in my view, the moment where the innovation magic happens. We don't innovate while we are doing a problem discovery. We don't innovate while we are doing delivery. We innovate when we are doing solution discovery, where we are coming up with a solution hypothesis and testing those solution hypotheses to pick the one that we believe is the best one to solve our problem. This is where the innovation magic happens. This is very, very, very important. So I'll bring you 2 examples, very interesting examples here. The first one is I lived this when I led the digital transformation at Lopes. Lopes, the biggest real estate company here in Brazil. And what happened there is that we used to do customer relationship through SMS and email marketing, but it used to have a very low conversion rates. And doing some benchmark with e-commerce product managers, they told us that the reason all e-commerce have an app, a mobile app, is because push notification have very, very high conversion rates. But the thing is, at the time, we didn't have an app. And we thought, oh, maybe we should implement an app because this will help us with increasing the number of leads, the number of people interested in properties, and consequently being able to generate sales. So what we decided to pursue is this opportunity of building a push notification app. And then the first solution that came to our mind is build a native app with all the features that we have in our website, but this would take months. Then we decided, okay, let's do it with a reduced scope, but this will also take a few weeks. So what we decided to do, because our app was adaptive, we decided to implement a web view app, a very simple solution. And this is the one that we decided to move into delivery, and we delivered this app. And actually the conversion rate was really is like 10 times. Like email marketing SMS was 1%, and this was like 10%. However, and there is a huge however here, the issue is that it's very difficult to make people download the app. So imagine if we have spent like month building a full native app, and then discovered that it's very, very difficult to make people download an app to search for properties. So here's an example of a solution discovery. So to close up here, the fourth misconception is about engineering must focus on delivery. That's part of their job, but the thing is, a very important role of engineering is to be part of the solution discovery. Actually, the engineers are the ones who are most capable of bringing innovation to the product that we are building. And we normally design discovery back down here with product management and product design, delivery. So we are separating engineering and the product management and product design. But the magic of a product team happens when the three functions work together on figuring out the best solution. So the example here very quickly is a real estate agent app back again in Lopes. When I joined Lopes, they were building this real estate agent app and they were calling it MVP, and I'm putting quotes because it was on development for 7 months. I mean, it's crazy because MVP is like few weeks, most a month. And then I talking about this with them, I asked, why are we building this? And they said, oh, we run 5 months product discovery on this, and we are solving the problem of having the lead, which is the information of a person interested in a property, the fastest possible to the real estate agent, because the faster she is able to talk to the client, the quicker they will be able to evolve into a full negotiation. So I went after the information and I realized that calling within 5 minutes, it's 21 times more effective than calling after 30 minutes. So that's the reason why they built it. And during this discovery, they realized that when a lead got to an agent searches into the database if the person is registered there, and if it's not, they will register there. So they decided to build this into the scope of the app. And after that, they realized also that the agent searches for similar properties in order to send the similar properties to the prospect customer. So they decided to build this amazing feature of drawing in the map to search, to delimitate the area to search. And I said to them, listen, 1 year MVP doesn't make sense. The main problem is to take the lead in the agent's hand as fast as possible. So we should stay with the push notification only app. All the rest, the agent should do the way that she used to do. And then came the engineer and said, hey, why are we building an app? It doesn't make sense. Why don't we just send an SMS? And we said, oh, that's right. And then the team built the SMS like in 10 days. In 10 days, all the agents were receiving this notification, something that they were expecting for like a year. So bringing the engineers, it's crucial. They are the ones that will be able to help us build the best solutions, and they should be involved in this solution discovery phase. So the misconceptions, as I mentioned, is discovery is not a process, it's a set of tools for us to mitigate risk, and also a mindset. We should have this mindset constantly. We don't need to do discovery for everything. Examples that I gave, this something known or regulatory issues or urgent needs. Discovery is about understanding the problem, but it's also about figuring out the right solution, the best solution. We have a solution hypothesis, and we need to test those solution hypotheses in order to move into the delivery. This is the reason why many products fail, and this is where the innovation magic happens. Is not in the problem discovery, neither in the delivery. And last but not least, engineering must focus also on discovery. They are essential in the solution discovery. So that's it. Those are my books. The people who are interested, the first one is about discovery. The second one is on product management, this one on leadership, and this one in product culture and digital transformation. And thank you. I'm not sure if we have time for questions. I passed like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
it was
we
very
have
nice.
we can probably do, I think, definitely a couple of questions. Well, first off, thank you. So many brilliant insights. I think that a lot of people can take home and start implementing, or dig deeper into your books and get a deeper understanding. Thanks again for being so generous with your time and embracing the event today. So let's jump into a couple of questions and see if we can get someone to stump you. Or
here we are.
Let's see. And I'm just going to sort this really quick just to make sure it's okay. I just read your book and was wondering, what is the characteristic of company culture that obstructs the most its own digital transformation? Is there some particular pattern there that that you see?
Yeah, and people already talked about this. Particularly, Dave talked about this. Culture. We cannot change culture by mandate, by telling people you need to behave this other way. We need to show the way we do products. So we need to be able to show results, show business results, show the customer happy. And by doing so, we're going to do it the right way, the product culture way. And this is the way we are able to show to stakeholders, to C-level. So this example that I just gave, the SMS, the push notification app, I was very fortunate. We have Enter Lopez, and this was happening because I used this as an example. Hey, listen, we were spending like 1 year to build an app to do this, but in 10 days, we were able to have the same result. But if we are able to think using the product culture and the product mindset.
Yeah, and once you have that evidence to show them that you've gone through this process and were able to come to this through discovery, I think that is something that you can bring to C-suite to get to gather buy-in, which I think folds into the next question. How can we work with this approach in a company that has a product C-suite centric mindset? So essentially that thinks discovery is a waste of time. Like, how do you convince them that discovery is actually risk mitigation?
Yeah. First, the discovery, unfortunately, got a very bad reputation, especially if we think about those 5 months discovery. Obviously, the business people wouldn't love this. No one would love like 5 months discovery. We need the results. So I believe the first thing is removing the discovery word out of the lexicon, but continues to do discovery, but not calling it that way, because this will cause some issues, some eyes rolling. You know, I have a teenager at home, and I know how they roll their eyes for some topics. And the same happened with the C-suite. If we talk about discovery, they roll their eyes. Oh, look, here comes the product manager again. And then doing discovery, like, oh, that's a very interesting idea. I really like to know more. What is the problem that we are trying to solve? What is the metric, the needle that we need to move? Tell me more about this. Because when you ask this to the C-suite, you are already doing discovery. We are understanding more about the problem, more about the company objectives that you need to reach. So remove and continue to do, but remove and do it fast, like the McDonald's. 6 hours, 6 hours to do a solution discovery.
Yeah.
We don't need weeks or months. We can do it sometimes in a day, in a period, just the afternoon or the morning. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, even just something as simple as what you said, change the way you explain it. Like, don't call it discovery, call it risk mitigation. That's something C-suite understands. Hey, listen, we want to make sure we're not dumping our money into something useless. Oh, that's a lot easier to understand than user interviews or whatever validation sessions or whatever that might take place during that. So we are running out of time. Just a couple minutes till the next guest. I think you know who he is. Yeah. Marty Kagan's coming up next. So what I want to do is just, thank you for your time again. Thank you for coming here to draw people to donate and support this cause and help families who've lost everything. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It was very, very nice to be here in this stellar lineup. Learning a lot.
Thank you so much.